everyone. Bit of a special episode of Talkin Drek this weekend, end of the week, start of the week, whichever way you decide to put where your week start and end. But yeah, we're going to be talking about the Artificer, or Artificer, as my American friends keep saying, even though I don't understand that.
Artificer.
Artificer. No, because Artificer. Yeah, Artificer. Yeah, whatever. So yes, we're going to be talking about that tonight. So, well,
should be
today,
fun.
This morning, wherever you are, indoor time zone. Yeah. So, this is mostly your.
Well, sure. Okay.
Project, so.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, Seraphis is kind of my go-to expert on artificers. And when we first started talking about the Artificer, and I'm going to see how many different ways I can pronounce it, by the way. It was something that was just really kind of interesting. And I have never really had a player in my campaigns or in any of my games want to play as an Artificer. And so even going all the way back to 3rd edition, which, is kind of really where them as a playable class came out. And I don't know, we started kind of looking at it, and this Seraphis, that was always your go-to class to play, right?
Yeah. So like in 2nd edition, when we got the, can't remember which supplemental that was, but the Gnome Artificer, I jumped on top of that because that was insane, and I loved every second of it.
Right.
And so I've been drawn to that kind of stuff ever since.
Yeah. And I think for me, mostly, the world that I have created, it hasn't really, like, Spelljammer stuff doesn't even exist in my world. That's the lack of technological that they're at, but that was, and I'll be honest, straight up honest, that was really kind of a failing more on my part of things, because it is really a fascinating class. And it takes, while there is a degree of and I'm kind of talking to the audience here. You already know this stuff, Seraphis, but the Artificer takes a degree of magic and mixes it with an element of what they would refer to as science, not technology, but as science, engineering, basically. Science, engineering would be the better term. To use Star Trek worlds, they're not the Spock, they would be the Scotty, and then infuse magic with the engineering. So, and I use the term infuse very specifically because 5th edition, or at least with this new Eberron Forge of the Artificer book, they have removed the fusion element. And that's a big thing. Keep that in mind. We're going to bring that up several times during this little chat here. But specifically, I've always been the D&D guy. My table likes D&D. We have tried other games, but Dungeons and Dragons seems to be the one that we all fall back to. Seraphis has somewhat moved on from D&D into other game systems, and one of those is, what's the book that we're going to look at?
Oh, TOV, yeah.
Tales of the Valiant, and which is 5th edition compatible. You almost could say that it is a 5th edition book, or let me rephrase, 5th edition rule set, but it's compatible but different at the same time.
Yes.
It's very unique to itself. So anyway, in D&D, of course, it's called the Artificer. And in Tales of the Valiant, it's called the
Mechanist.
mechanist. And so I thought it would be kind of fun to take a look at both of those and kind of compare them. Not exactly side by side, because they don't exactly have a side by side comparison, but they're pretty damn similar. They're pretty close. And so I just thought it would be an interesting thing to take a look at and, compare them. And, hey, if it's something that you like, if you are a D&D nerd like me and you like this concept from TOV, hey, like any tabletop game, bastardize it and use it, homebrew it for your stuff. So, but that's the point, is just to get out there that there are other options. So
I will iterate, just in case like you're sharing on your channel and people aren't aware of my peculiar background. It's a lot easier for me to slide systems slide off of D&D, because my first system was Shadowrun, not D&D. So Shadowrun is a system I have up until recently usually gone back to, but unfortunately every time you get a bad publisher or a game developer, designer, when you get people like Catalyst Game Labs or WotC,
you're starting to, at that point, kind of get into the bureaucracy of the company itself, and not what is perceived as the betterment of the game itself.
Especially when they especially in this case that we're about to be talking about today, where they don't see your entire continent as being worthy of any kind of apology, acknowledgement, or anything like that. So, because we're doing this on my channel, CGO and WotC can get fucked, you cunts.
So basically, he's saying that he'd prefer to play the TOV version than,
Well, Kobo Press might be expensive, but they haven't done anything to insult me for being in another country.
And if you can't tell, that is a sore spot.
Yeah, because
an understandable one.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice when I'm not going to get to this. That we'll just.
Right, it's your show, your channel, your show.
No, we're good. But...
So what are we looking at? We're looking at the Artificer class features.
Yep. Let's blow this up a little bit bigger. Yep. So, no, there we go. Aha! See, I can do this.
Oh yeah. Gotcha. Okay.
Yep. So you've got.
So you've got your standard, your standard features that when you gain levels, you gain certain access to certain spells, or certain features rather.
Yep. So, okay, we've got our core Artificer traits. Now, I don't know what the situation is like with new WotC, but I will say that for any disclosure, I will be... Give me a second. Look. I will also be showing this off as well, because I already know I've got permission. In fact, everyone has a blanket permission to show off the insides of the TOV book.
Yeah.
So I will be pointing this out as well. But yeah, so with this new one, we've got the primary ability still being intelligence, which is nice because traditionally, pretty much the wizard has always been solely primary for their primary trait being, or primary ability being intelligence.
Right.
Because you've got a lot of charisma-based casters. You've got the druid and cleric being wisdom-based casters. Wizard's kind of alone.
Yeah.
Need another nerd, basically.
So is the mechanist? Hey, so we could even play this one back and forth. Is it mechanist or is it mechanist? That's a debate. Is the Mechanist a subclass of the Wizard in TOV?
No.
Okay, so it is its own. Okay.
Yeah, its own full class. Oh, yeah. Now you're. Stop. I don't think it likes me switching between tabs and stuff. But yeah, no, it's its own.
So
full base class.
So I see right off the bat, I see that one of the core differences is the WotC version, its hit point die is a D8, whereas the TOV version is a D10.
Yes.
So,
and
no, I was just going to say, so right off the bat, the TOV is going to be just a touch more powerful.
Yeah, and I think that goes towards the fact that with the Mechanist, the class overall itself allows for more fluidity in its base use. So you can go from filling in for a tank during one adventure and then filling in for support in another, and it's not going to hurt you too much. Again, though, compared to a Warlock, not really a Warlock, compared to like a Wizard, they definitely have nowhere near as many spells. Compared to a tank, they've got none of those strength-based feats to buff themselves. So you can kind of see.
And two, I see that they're limited to light armor and medium armor and shields, whereas the WotC version is
there we go.
Light. Well, it's the same thing, the exact same thing. I guess what I'm thinking, there is a subclass, which we're not going to worry too much about the subclass. I'm mainly wanting to look at the core Artificer, but there is a subclass that lets you wear heavy armor. But again, I don't want to look at the subclasses on this. I just kind of want to look at the core Artificer.
And technically, there is a what do they call them again? Crap, what's it called? Augment. That you can apply to armor that makes it one category lighter. But I mean, also the way that TV has a crafting system, it also means that you can create like adamantium armor from plate mail and make it medium. So yeah, medium plate armor.
Let's see. It looks like their saving throw proficiencies are the same: Constitution and Intelligence. Weapon proficiencies are simple weapons, which I mean that's okay. I think that's the same on both.
No. Hold on.
Is it not? Weapons, simple weapons, and martial weapons. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Again, I guess I think there is a subclass that lets you use martial weapons. I think it's the Battlesmith, but yeah. Okay. So right now, right off the bat, the Mechanist is already a bit stronger, capable. Let me rephrase: capable. If you were to put them up against each other, 1 versus 1 at level 1.
Yeah.
Let's see, the tool proficiencies. Wizards WotC version gets Thieves Tools, Tinker Tools, and 1 type of an artisan tool of your choice, whereas the TOV I think is Tinker's Tools and 2. Tinker Tools and 2 additional tools.
And 2 additional tools of your type.
So you're not limited to the Thieves Tools. Just grab whatever you want. That's fine. Saves are con and intelligence. Skills, you can choose 2 from Arcana: History, Investigation, Perception, and Sleight of Hand. So I'd probably go with Sleight of Hand and Arcana. No, Sleight of Hand and Perception, which it looks like it's the exact same. Only the WotC version also adds in Medicine and Nature.
Yeah, which is
because they can also serve. So I think,
Oh, because of the
yeah, because
alchemist.
of the alchemist. And I think that that's something that WotC was trying to do with the Artificer in this, is make them an all around. You were saying earlier, that the TOV version is that can kind of switch roles and go with the flow. Well, that's kind of why I think they went with the different proficiencies here. Is I think that's what they designed it for, is to be a tank when it needs to be a tank, a healer when it needs to be a healer, and a kind of magic user-ish when it needs to be kind of magic user-ish. It's not an expert at any one of those. Of course, as you get up in level, of course, you're going to find that expertise, but starting out, it's
Yeah, I would never say that the Artificer, even at like max level, can replace another class.
right.
I think it's there to be able to fill in for
Right.
a class, for any other class. It never does the job as well or better, but it can do the job at a slightly downgraded level comparatively. Like, let's say you're in an epic level party,
Sure.
level 20 characters. Your Artificer at level 20 could be doing as well as a rogue of, say, level 16. It's not.
Right.
It's good. It's just not as good. And I think that's what that flexibility
That's the trade-off.
is
Yeah,
really
that's
about.
the trade-off.
Yeah. But using magic items and crafting shit is definitely the two things that they should be able to do. So
now that's for the 5th edition version. Now rewind back to 3rd edition, and they really were their own class to be reckoned with, that could go toe to toe with some of the other classes.
Oh yeah. Like I mean, just base without
Right.
going into prestige classes in 3rd edition. It is just with a couple of feats, it is really easy to make an Artificer who is quote unquote a Blastificer, which is just packed with wands and being able to expel that power with such ferocity as a full spellcaster, like a sorcerer or a wizard. That was always that is really, really cool about it.
I mean, you go up against put it back in that scenario you were saying, an epic level campaign. You've got a 20th level warrior, fighter, barbarian, whatever, and then a 20th level artificer. And the warrior has got magic items out the wazoo, ring of protection +3, flaming sword +4, whatever, armor and all that stuff. Artificer, boop, that stuff's no longer magic.
Yeah.
I mean,
or they've come prepared, and they've got, like, say they've custom made, which I'm not giving anything away here, by the way. This is definitely not what I'm going to be doing in the campaign I'm currently in. I'm just saying. You could make a staff with like the lowest level power on the staff being Dispel Magic, the mid-level spell on it being Greater Dispel Magic, and the, I don't know, 1 shot a day or 2 shots a day magic on it being Mordenkainen's Disjunct. Let's say for some reason you decide to call it the Staff of No.
Yeah.
No. GM, I say no.
No.
Now, it's not... No. To be calm and kind to GMs, make it only like twice a day at most. Do not overuse it, because you will very quickly find yourself dead somehow.
Yeah.
But the ability to say no to something that is very, very tough for that right moment is cool.
Yeah.
But save it for the right moment, for the love of God. But yes, I I love that.
So let's see. Starting equipment for the Wizards version is you can choose A or B, which is studded leather armor, dagger, thieves tools, tinker's tools, dungeon pack, and 16 gold, or 150 gold, with which you can go purchase whatever you want.
Yes.
Okay. And then the TOV version, does it have starting equipment? Okay, so you start with, in addition, you start with, okay, a martial weapon and shield, or 2 simple weapons.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll say I'm going to start with 2 simple weapons. A light crossbow, 20 bolts, scale mail or leather armor. I'm going to say leather armor. Tinker's tools, and oh wow, so you don't start with any gold. You start off broke as shit.
No. So at the beginning of the chapter,
right. Start with following equipment in addition to the equipment granted by your background. Okay.
Yes.
Right. So what is okay, so I'm going to ask you to dig into that. What is the where are the backgrounds? Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to. All right. So we've got backgrounds. I'm going to just skim through until I find the one I am looking for no reason whatsoever. Okay, the Maker.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, so your skill proficiencies: investigation and 1 skill of your choice from the following list. History, performance, or sleight of hand. Additional proficiencies: gain proficiency with 1 tool. Double your proficiency bonus when you make a check using that tool.
Okay.
So God forbid you use your tinkering tools for that.
Right.
Equipment: a tool you are proficient with, a wax seal, ink stamp, or chisel of your personal emblem, a set of traveler's clothes, and a pouch containing 10 gold worth of gold shavings and silver dust.
Okay.
Now, talent: you have invested time in performing a singular craft, securing patronage, and learning from trial and error, or under the watchful guidance of a master craftsperson. Choose a talent from this list to represent your experience: artillerist, school specialization, or trade skills. Now, for those who need interpretation of talents, that is TOV's feats, which have harkened back more towards the 3rd edition style of feats rather than 5th editions.
So. And this is what I was saying earlier, where TOV, while it's 5th edition compatible, it's also kind of its own little set of rules.
Yeah, it's the way I have seen a lot of this happen is that they've kind of stripped the, shall we say, 4th edition out of 5th edition and replaced it with 3rd edition.
Right.
It's still very 5th edition-y, but it's got those elements back from 3rd edition, like lots of feats, lots of choices.
Well, I mean, 3rd edition was an excellent edition. I mean, I really liked the graduation to the D20 system. And that's one of the things that I like about 5th edition is it continues to maintain that D20 system. It just makes it so much easier, faster, makes things faster, not necessarily easier. I mean, THAC0 was not, once you understood THAC0, it wasn't difficult to figure it out. But when you have new players, you don't have to pause for 10 minutes to explain, okay, THAC0 is to hit armor class 0. You take and you subtract and you get a number. And when you roll, you need to meet or beat that number. Okay, now just roll a d20.
Yeah. And to be fair, that the D20 system did come out of, I think it was Unearthed Arcana rules.
I think so.
That had been in development. But yeah, then you had, what was that? Monty, Jonathan, and Skip then refine and kind of create the D20 system as we now know it. So All right, so switch. Yeah, so
So you're going to start off with 10 gold.
yeah, 10 gold there, but
yeah.
you see all that extra stuff that you're getting from it. It's not. Yeah. I should have remembered where it was. Where's the mechanist? Did I go? I went past because I'm up to R.
If you hit your where it says character classes,
no, I can't. It's
it
not.
Doesn't.
It's.
Oh, yeah. That's silly.
Oh wait, no, there we are. Oh, I did do it. Okay, I didn't find that before. I'm doing my best here, people. So yeah, so you do start off with only 10 gold from that background, but you're getting a lot out of it. So
yeah, get a lot. So all right, so let's see. Okay, so we were at so you start off 10 gold versus 16 gold.
Yep.
Starting equipment, I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at the so far. I mean, I still think the TOV is a touch stronger than the WotC version. The only thing that I'm looking at that's key different is that the WotC version gets medicine and nature for alchemy. So I mean, they could create something that could heal. Now I haven't, we haven't delved too deep into the TOV version just yet. So let's move forward a little bit and see. I'm not going to worry about it as a multi-class character because I don't want to go super complex with that.
Yeah, we'll just stick to the base class.
Stick to the base class. Yeah. So at level 1, you gain all the traits in the core Artificer's traits table. Okay. And then you gain an Artificer level 1 features, which are listed in the features table, we'll look at that next. So let's see. Artificer features, you get spellcasting and Tinker's Magic. So hover over spellcasting. It doesn't bring it up.
Yeah,
okay. Okay, so spellcasting, it's basically laid out how it works in the player's handbook. Artificer, you produce your Artificer spells through tools, which is a spellcasting focus. So basically, if you have an Artificer tool, that becomes your spellcasting focus. So it's like, I have to use this item to concentrate on to send my spell. So it'd be like the wand that Harry Potter used. That would be his spellcasting focus.
Yes.
Unlike like a Jedi that casts their spells just by, whatever, by thought. Oh, that's going to stir up a hornet's nest, it. Cantrips. 2 Artificer cantrips of your choice. They recommend Acid Splash and they would put that word in there.
Prestidigitation.
See, I can't say it. Prestidigitation.
There you go. You said
it.
Yep.
Prestidigitation. A lot of vowels there. When you finish a long rest, you can replace one of your cantrips from this feature with another one. Okay. And when you reach levels 10 and 14, you learn another cantrip of your choice. Well, that seems kind of limiting. So I get 2 cantrips until I hit level 10. That's when I learn. Dang. That seems like a long stretch to go without being able to gain another additional cantrip. Spell slots. The Artificer features table shows how many spell slots you have to cast your level 1+ spells. You gain all expended slots when you finish longer. Okay. Prepared spells of level 1. They're available to you when you cast the feature. To start, choose 2 level 1 spells. Cure Wounds, Grease are recommended. Okay. Number is going to increase as you gain. Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
You can change your spells after a long rest. I get that. Intelligence is your spellcasting ability for your spells. Okay, that makes sense. So you know the mending cantrip, and then you get, as a magic action, while you hold your tool, dramatic pause while we snicker at that, you can create one item in an unoccupied space within 5 feet of yourself, and then this shows what all items you can create.
I mean, within 5 feet of myself, if I'm holding my tool, it's 6 feet. So you got to have that extra foot.
Right. Yeah. Just be sure to keep the torch away from it.
So yeah, and this is the list of items you can make.
Okay. All right, so that's all at level 1.
Yep.
So now let's cruise over to the TOV.
Bloop.
So before you even hit level 1, you're already getting some. Oh no, those are first level features. Okay, so you're getting these features.
So, Eyes of the Maker, first level mechanist feature. When you touch a magic item or some other magic imbued object, you learn its properties and how to use it, whether it requires attunement to use, and how many charges it has, if any. You learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are. If the item was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it.
Oh my god.
It's Identify at first level as a feature.
But wait. Okay, so I'm going to take a little dramatic pause. Not dramatic pause, but I'm going to take a break here and go, I want to read this last one, see how you interpret it.
Yeah.
Right, so we're both artificers, right?
Yeah.
We're just I don't know. We both have we're both in Waterdeep. Let's say we both work in Waterdeep. You've got what's your specialization?
Homunculi.
Okay, so you're creating little servants and stuff for folks. I am. Let's see. I just do basic repairs, right? But we need some special reagents for whatever it is that we're going to tinker with, right? So you and I decide, you know what? Let's just go. We're going to take Sunday off. We're going to go cruise out into the wilderness and see what we can run across. And we run across Baba Yaga's magic hut. That's an item. It is an item. So if I'm reading this correctly, you touch the magic item, Baba Yaga's magic hut, and you learn its properties. You now know how to use it. You know that it requires attunement to use. You know how often it can be used in any given day. You know if it has any alarms or anything. In this instance, we'll say there's no spells that are affecting it. The item was created by a spell, and you learn which spell created it. So if I'm reading this right, I'm going to read this. If the item was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it. Does that mean that you learn the spell and can cast the spell? Or you learn it, or is that termed more as you discover that it was created by X spell?
I think it's you know which spell created it.
Okay, so you don't actually learn the spell itself so that you can cast that spell.
Yeah, you wouldn't learn the spell itself.
Okay, that would be too broken.
Yeah.
That would be insane.
For now.
All right, yeah, for now.
Later levels, however, you could read which spell it was and, I don't know, maybe copy it down onto a readied item and then be able to use that spell in a jiffy.
Okay, let's move on to Shard of Creation.
Oh, yes, please.
This sounds menacing.
The Shard of Creation, first level mechanist feature. You learn how to craft a Shard of Creation, which is a tiny magical object with many uses that appears on your person. In its base state, the shard appears as a constantly shifting fluid-like bundle of plasma. The shard vanishes instantly if you are slain or if it is not in your possession for more than 24 consecutive hours. If the shard is destroyed or you lose it, you can perform a 1-hour ritual to create a replacement. This ritual can be performed as part of a short or long rest. The shard has a number of charges equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum of 1, and you regain all expended charges when you finish a long rest. Charges can be spent to activate the following properties. Now, in case you're wondering what the shard looks like, right there.
Yeah.
Now, you're probably wondering, wait, that's a
Well,
hammer.
It can take on almost any form.
Yes, it can.
Is my understanding, yeah.
Yes, it can. So, Inspire. When you make an ability check while touching the shard, regardless of its current form, you can spend 1 charge to roll a d6 and add the number rolled to your check result.
Wow.
Blah, 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 blah. Transform. While touching the shard, you can use an action to transform it into any type of non-magical weapon or shield, or into any object of medium size or smaller. The object appears in an unoccupied space within 10 feet of you, but the chosen space must contain a surface or liquid capable of supporting the object. If the object you create is of an appropriate size to be worn or held, you can choose for the object to appear in your hand or on your person. The total value, in gold pieces, of the object created can't be more than 20 times your mechanist level. Now, you were saying something about heavy armor, weren't you?
Yeah. But I'm also thinking of something else, but I see a little snippet on the next column. So go ahead and read the next snippet.
Oh, this one?
No.
Oh,
yeah.
A transformed shard remains in its new form until you die. Use an action to return it to its original state, or use an action to transform it again. No matter what shape the shard assumes, those who handle the shard can sense something strange about its nature. The shard can't be passed off as a typical item for purposes of buying and selling.
Okay. That was going to be my first abuse of it, was I'm just going to create something and sell it. But okay, that resolves that.
Well, I think the image here too kind of is meant to reiterate that
sure, but
you can see that it's different.
Listen. You're walking down the grocery store, you're looking for a jar of pickles, and a guy comes up and opens up his coat pocket and says, "Hey, see this? You want to buy it?" I mean, it's a glowing purple ball of something that looks like a hammer. Well, of course I want to buy it. It looks cool. Why wouldn't I? Only for it to disappear an hour later. But, hey, I'm the guy that sold it to me. That guy's long gone at this point. That's what makes it the perfect heist. Okay, so we get spellcasting Tinker's Magic for WotC at level 1. So if you scroll down, okay, that's going into level 2. Okay. There you go. Click on spellcasting. Now on the I'm sitting here trying to touch it on my yeah, there you go. Okay, so we went over spellcasting, and then what is Tinker's Magic?
Oh, this one.
Okay. The mending, the mending cantrip. Oh, okay, that's right. You can create all that. Wow. Okay.
So you get to mend things, and you can
right.
You can make a bunch of basic items.
Tinker's Tools is basically the same thing as what we just looked at. The only difference is yours glow kind of in a purpley plasma. Mine look physical and solid, and I could sell mine. Like, hover over ball bearings. It doesn't tell you what the cost is to purchase. Minimal, but
cost 1 gold piece.
Gold. So hey, I could make 1 gold a day by ripping people off. There might be more things in there and it's going to disappear after a while, after 24 hours, whatever it is I create.
But I would counter that with I can turn my shard of creation into any tools that I need and make those items that way.
Yeah, that's true. There you go. That's true.
And in combat, I can then turn it into heavy armor.
Right. Okay.
Oh, and I can identify any magic item.
Yeah. So, all right. I think I get that at level 2 with replicate magic item. When you've learned arcane plans that you use to make magic items. When you gain this feature, choose 4 plans to learn from the magic item plans table. Bag of holding, cap of water breathing, sending stones, and wand of the war mage are recommended. Whenever you gain an artificer level, you can replace one of these plans, with a new plan for which you qualify. You learn another plan of your choice as you go up in levels, okay? And then creating an item. When you finish a long rest, you create 1 or 2 different magic items if you have tinker tools in hand. If you create items that require attunement, you can attune yourself to it the instant you create it. And again, as you go up, you can create more stuff. The duration, magic item created by this feature functions as normal magic item, except its magic isn't permanent. When you die, the magic item vanishes after 1d4 days. If an item you created with this feature is a container such as the bag of holding and it vanishes, its contents harmlessly appear in and around its space. And then, of course, for the spellcasting focus, you've got to use a wand or a weapon that you've created using your artisan tools. Okay. Well, that's okay. So I can create stuff. And then these are the different plans that we can make.
Oh, look, you can get goggles of night vision. That's cool.
And then this is as you go up in level.
Yeah. Yep.
That's as you go up in level, you get access to more stuff. Okay. All right.
Okay.
And that's level 2. And I can know 4 plans, and all that. Okay, so let's take a look at level 2 augment.
Cool. Let's do that. Augment. 2nd level mechanist feature. You gain the ability to channel magical energies into items. To use this ability, you must spend 1 hour focusing on the item that you wish to augment while remaining in physical contact with it. So very much like trying to identify something. You gain 2 augment effects of your choice. Augment effect options are detailed at the end of this class description. At certain mechanist levels, you gain additional augment effects of your choice, as shown in the augment effects column on the mechanist progress table. That would be this one here.
Okay.
When you use this ability, choose an effect from those you know. Regardless of the effect, an augmented item is considered a magic item while the effect remains active. You can apply these effects to existing magic items, and any bonuses or features granted by an augment effect stack with any properties a magic item already possesses. Unless specified otherwise, a chosen effect lasts indefinitely, but as an action, you can touch an item to end an ongoing effect that you created. You can have effects active on multiple items, provided you spend the required time focusing on each item individually. However, an item can only bear 1 effect at a time. Multiple uses of the same effect don't stack. So, like, one of them is light, for example. So you can't put light on a sword 6 times.
Right.
You
could, but they just won't stack.
Well, yeah. The maximum number of items you can affect with this feature at one time is listed on the augments item columns. If you try to exceed your maximum, you must choose an ongoing effect to end. You can also augment your transformed shard of creation, provided its form meets the requirement for the chosen effect. The effect remains with the shard when it transforms as long as the new form remains compatible If not, the effect immediately ends.
Okay.
So, while we didn't get any spellcasting at level 1 with the Mechanist, we have...
the ability to create magic items at level 2.
Yes. And while we started...
Yeah, and effects.
Yeah. Now, here's a fun one. I don't know about the Artificer, the new Artificer, but the Mechanist gains additional attunement slots. So the Mechanist can have like 5 or 8 attuned magic items at one time.
I don't recall what the... I can look that up real quick. I just don't recall right off the top of my head what it gets attunement wise. Tune help if I spelled it right. Okay. Just states if a created item requires attunement, you can attune yourself the instant you create it. That was at level 2. That doesn't really specify anything. So it does state at level 10 you get what's called Magic Item Adept. Mm-hmm. And that allows you to attune up to 4 magic items at once. At level 14, you can attune up to 5 magic items at once. At level 18, it's 6. And I think that's the maximum. Yeah, I think that's the maximum. So you can attune up to 6 magic items at once.
So I think where the Mechanist is ahead in attuned magic items by the sound of it.
Well, and it sounds like you get attunement earlier. Like it may not be limited to specific levels.
Efficient action, 2nd level Mechanist feature. Your mechanical expertise allows you to use items more efficiently in the chaos of battle. You can use a bonus action to take the use an object action, see actions in combat, or to perform a weapon option, see weapon options. So essentially you can quick draw another wand from yourself.
Right.
I think you can make like a bash attack. As a weapon option, yeah, there's a bunch of things. I probably should have tried to memorize better.
No, it's all right.
All these things, but yeah.
Yeah, so let's see. At level 3...
So Artificer subclasses.
You just gain an Artificer subclass of your choice. The Alchemist, Armor, Artillerist, Battlesmith, and Cartographer. Which, again, I don't really care about looking specifically at the subclasses of them. Just kind of the core stuff. And I think TOV is the exact same thing.
Yeah, TOV is the same with 3rd level starting subclasses. So.
Yeah. But I would like to see the names of the subclasses.
The Metallurgist or the Spellwright are the 2 subclasses.
All right, so jump. Okay, we will explore this for a second. So jump back over to so the Alchemist. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different subclasses. Alchemist basically lets you create potions.
Yep.
Armorer basically lets you create armor. Artillerist lets you create like shooting weapons. Blasty stuff. Battlesmith is kind of a combination, but it allows you to create dogs, mechanical, things to help you. And then the cartographer is all about kind of maps, which is kind of a cool one, but there's a few things, magic maps. Basic rundown is the cartographer, I can create a map for everybody in my party, and we can all look at this magic map. Each one has their own, in their own possession, and we'll know exactly where it is. So it's basically, what's the app? What's the app that I have on my phone?
Life 360.
Yeah, so it's basically a Life 360 for your party.
I call it the Stalker app.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's fine. But you can also teleport to that particular person,
Yes.
as long as they're on their map, or as long as they have the map. So it's got some neat stuff, properties to it.
And I will give WotC one credit. The cartographer is actually an interesting design for a subclass for the Artificer.
It is interesting. There's a few things that I would tweak and change about it.
Yes.
But I do like the concept of it.
The concept is really interesting because it plays into that. Crap! What was that thing? I can't remember when you showed it off. What video it was? It was that teleporting telescope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of that, and I feel like there's a lot of like cool, interesting connection that like a player as a cartographer could have with a magic item like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just what they did with it isn't quite. I don't feel it's enough.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it just doesn't feel like quite enough. Okay, so now let's jump back to the TOV. So here you get the metallurgist or spellwright. So tell me, what is the basic rundown of the metallurgist? What is the basic rundown of the spellwright?
Okay, so I'll just read it out here.
Yeah.
Mechanists who pursue the metallurgist's craft delight in the thrill of combat and engineered armaments. So essentially, you're looking at what is a combination of the artillerist and armorer.
Okay.
In one, which is it's
makes
pretty
sense. Funny. It makes sense.
The spellwright, on the other hand, is I guess you could say it's a artillerist crossed with the battlesmith, but it focuses a lot more on being able to create battlefield magic items. Okay. So, for example, you can like in a jiffy, you can create a bunch of quick use wands. Right. You can create a bunch of temporary magic armors, things like that.
Gotcha.
Or you can you can create a bunch of temporary necklaces of fireballs. So yeah, it focuses more on that idea that the mechanist makes stuff,
right,
and kind of allows that to be expedited. So yeah,
sure. Okay.
So yeah, so fourth level, but sorry, I forgot to switch the button.
Yeah, so fourth level, you basically gain an ability score improvement feat or another feat of your choice for which you qualify.
Yep.
And you gain it again at 8, 12, and 16.
And this is where we kind of differ slightly with TOV. So improvement. Choose one of the following improvements. Increase a single ability score by 2, increase 2 different ability scores by 1, or increase one ability score by 1 and select a talent. So you can pop a ability score increase by 1 and then grab a new talent. Okay. This is part of that whole like throwback to 3rd edition that I was talking about, because it means that like at 6th level you can have a tank, you can have a fighter who is already pretty freaking tanky.
Right.
They've already built themselves to like take hits.
Yeah, so I guess the key difference is with the WotC version, I can increase my an ability score only by 1, or I can take another feat of my choice that I qualify for. Whereas you get the choice of I can either increase a single score by 2, 2 scores by 1, or 1 and gain a feat of my choice.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so jump into level 6, magic item Tinker. I can replicate magic items. Yeah.
Oh, no. We'll go back to that one. That's okay.
Okay. I can charge magic items. So as a bonus action, I can take a magic item that anybody has and give it, expend a spell slot and then recharge it. The number of charges the item regains is equal to the level of the spell slot expended. So I wouldn't, if I was level 2, or well, at this point, if I was level 6, I wouldn't be able to recharge like a level 19 item.
Yeah.
Drain magic item as a bonus action. I can touch a magic item within 5 feet that I created with replicate magic item and cause the item to vanish, converting its magical energy into a spell slot. The slot is level 1 if the item is common, 2 if it's uncommon or rare. Any spell slot you create with this feature vanishes when you finish a long rest. So I don't really know why that would be a benefit, because I can't replenish that spell slot without performing a long rest. So, like, I mean, I can't drain a magic item from an enemy because I didn't create it. So, okay. Transmute magic item. As a magic action, you can touch one magic item within 5 feet of yourself that you created with replicate, transform it into a different magic item. So I'm going to turn my boots of climbing into boots of swimming. Okay. Resulting item must be based on a magic item plan you know. Once you use this feature, you can't do it again until you finish long rest. Okay. That's all self-explanatory.
Now, here's the thing. This is once again touching on essentially the 3rd edition Artificer again.
Mm-hmm.
But limiting it to just items that you created, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really limiting.
It is.
Like, it would be absolutely amazing and would give the class something to be able to take a magic item off of, like say it's just a cursed amulet.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's an evil amulet, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're a good party, it's an evil amulet. You know, if you guys try to wear it, it's like kind of drop your hit points down by like 10 points or something, whatever it is, right?
Right.
The best thing to do with that would be for the Artificer to just drain and destroy that item.
Exactly.
That they
I
don't.
mean, now I would throw, I would even possibly throw in like, okay, so maybe you got to make some kind of an intelligence save or something, to do that. But yeah, I mean, to make it so that it's something that you have created, yeah, that limits it pretty harshly.
Yeah.
So let's jump over to the TOV.
Okay, and this is going to be awkward because there's a 5th level item feature that the Mechanist has. So 5th level Mechanist feature, your physical prowess has grown. On your turn, you can make 2 attacks when you take the attack action.
Okay. So you get multi-attack. Okay.
Yes. And you keep getting more. Rapid augment. Oh, wait, no. I'm thinking of the martial classes. Never mind. Rapid augment, 6th level. You can now use your augment feature more rapidly. As a bonus action, you can touch an item and imbue it with known augment effects of your choice. You remain bound by all other restrictions of the augment feature, including number of items. You can use your rapid augment feature a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier and regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest.
So what is an example of an augment feature? Would it be like enlarge or reduce, or like make it
So,
adhesive, collapsible, and okay, I got you.
power, elusive, detecting.
Let's look at detecting, for example. Okay.
Okay. You imbue an item with magical capabilities to enhance perception. While you touch the item, you can use an action to activate one of the listed effects.
Wow.
You must equip, wear, or actively look through the augmented item to gain the effects to which you choose. So the effects can be dark vision, invisivision,
Mhm.
magic vision, which basically detect magic, or X-ray vision. So you can
Okay.
see through objects, obviously to the standard X-ray
Right.
vision limitation, but yeah.
Right. And the biggest key difference and benefit there is those items don't have to belong to you, nor do they have to have been items that you yourself created.
Nope. You can just be like, oh, the tank is a human. The rest of us are like, dwarves. We've
Yeah.
all got dark vision. Hey, come
So
over here. Let me touch your glasses. Ding.
yeah. So I'm looking at adhesive as an example.
Yes.
So all right, I don't the warrior, fighter, whatever, the main attacker in our party
Mhm.
doesn't does not want to run the risk of fumbling. So I can immediately make, all right, the hilt on your sword now has the adhesive property.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh, they rolled a natural 1. Check to see whether you're still holding your weapon. No, I've got adhesive. I hang
right,
on to my weapon no matter what.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. I mean, that's pretty strong. That's I think hands down. I think the TOV version is a bit ahead at this point. Now let's see. Jumping back over to the WotC version, we get at level 7, Flash of Genius. When you or a creature you can see within 30 feet of you fails an ability check or saving throw, you can take a reaction to add a bonus to the roll, potentially causing it to succeed. The bonus equals your intelligence modifier, minimum of +1. You can take this reaction a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum of once. You regain all expended uses after you finish when you finish a long rest. Okay, not bad, not bad. I mean, so if you fail a save, I can react to add my intelligence modifier to add a bonus to the roll. So I can add my bonus modifier. So let's say I've got an intelligence of 6, 16. That's going to give it a what, +2? So you gain 2 additional points to your failed save. What I do like about this is I can kind of pick and choose. Like, I don't have to state this. It's a reaction. So if you rolled a 1, adding my +2 bonus is not going to do anything. So I don't have to expend a Flash of Genius. But on the other hand, if the DC was, a 14 and you rolled a 13, then boom, I can take my reaction, give you the +2, and you just succeeded. And so I do like that you don't have to call that prior to somebody making a roll.
But at the same time, it's a little bit later on in the Artificer.
Yeah, I mean, at level 7, you don't get it till you're level 7. So
yeah. And when you compare that to the Mechanist's level 1 Inspire from the Shard of Creation,
which does
yeah.
All right, so what's jumping back over to?
Oh, we'll quickly do number 10 because I've got a 9 and 10 on.
Oh, okay. So at level 10, you can now tune up to 4 magic items at once. Okay.
All right, over on the Mechanist, we have Greater Creation. Your growing insight into the nature of reality allows you greater control over your Shard of Creation feature. You receive the following enhancements to its given properties. Inspire, your bonus to ability checks is now a 1d8 instead of a 1d6. And Transform, you can now transform the shard into any large or smaller tool or non-magical object. While the restrictions still apply, including the limit of the gold piece value.
Okay.
And heroic boon. Your commitment to the Mechanist's path grants you a powerful new ability. Choose one of the following heroic bonuses. Curse of Unmaking. As an action, you can make a melee spell attack using your augment attack modifier against a creature or item within reach. On a successful hit, the target becomes cursed so that it is vulnerable to all damage. If the target is a creature, it can attempt a con save against your augment save DC each time it takes a new instance of damage, ending the curse on a success. Once you use this feature, you must finish a long rest before you can use it again.
Okay.
Mend of the Broken. As an action, you can touch a creature or item and curse it to magically regain a number of hit points. And cause it, sorry. To regain a number of hit points equal to 5 times your Mechanist level. This effect also repairs any catastrophic damage suffered by the target, such as lost limbs, missing parts, or other harm that would ordinarily be irreparable. If the item doesn't have a hit point total, your touch restores it to working order as best it can with the pieces available. This feature can't restore expended charges on magic items or restore magical properties to non-magical items that were once magical. Once you use this feature, you must finish a long rest before you can use it again.
So I'm going to tell you why that automatically makes the TOV version stronger by a long mile. Because at that point, so you get this at level 10.
Yes.
So I'm already able to have a creature or item, if it has hit points, regain at least 50 hit points at that level.
Yeah.
That basically completely replaces I believe one of the subclasses.
Battlesmith, I think.
Not completely. Well, okay, so no, it doesn't completely replace that because you still can't create the Steel Defender with that. But actually, no, it's not.
You could resurrect a Steel Defender, though.
But you could resurrect one, yeah. Maybe it's the Alchemist that I'm thinking of. Yeah, it's kind of the Alchemist because they can create an elixir that will allow you to heal, but it's not that much. I mean, it's basically a 1d8 that you'll roll plus your, or I'm sorry, it's 2d8 plus your intelligence modifier, which pales in comparison to 5 times your overall level. So, I mean, that automatically right there, like I said.
And remember, Mend the Broken, catastrophic damage suffered by the target, such as lost limbs, missing parts, or other harm, would be healed. So this is applying to organic and inorganic creatures as well, or items, which means you could technically use this like regeneration and attach a fallen companion's arm or leg if they got cut off.
Right.
Yeah.
So what if their head was otherwise lopped and you held on to it? I cast this on the core body, right? And then I take a long rest and then cast it again on the head.
I would say you would technically restore the body, but you wouldn't bring them back to life. Because this is just repairing. It's not resurrecting.
I follow you. Okay.
Yeah. And since mechanical creatures aren't alive, in that sense, they could pop back up, but an organic person has a soul that they need to be put back in. I think
what if
that's
it's a zombie?
I would allow a zombie.
So I could create 2. given a month, I could have like 60 or 30. Okay, moving on. The D&D version at, let's see, level 11 can do spell storing item. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can touch one simple or martial weapon or one item that you can use as a spellcasting focus, and you store a spell in it. Choosing a level 1, 2, or 3 spell that has a casting time of an action and doesn't require a material component to consume. While holding the object, a creature can take a magic action to produce the spell's effect from it using your spellcasting ability modifier. If the spell requires concentration, creature must concentrate. Once a creature has used the object to produce the spell's effect, the object can't be used this way again until the start of the creature's next turn. Okay, now that's kind of strong. The spell stays in the object until it's been used a number of times equal to twice your intelligence modifier. So again, let's say that my modifier is a 2. So that would be 4 times that they could use this. Let's say that I have, let's see, I've now stored, what is a...
Let's just go with wands.
Yeah, that's fine. Hold on one second. I am going to look up. Let's see. I'm just going to pick a random level 2 spell. How about, let's see, time of an action doesn't require. So it doesn't specify that I have to know that spell. Touch one simple or one item that you can use as the focus, and you store a spell in it. So let's say I'll pick Bestow Curse.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, let's say I don't know. Let's come up with a better one. Hold on. I got one. Fireball. Everybody knows Fireball. Okay. It causes 8d6 fire damage if they fail a save.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to create basically a wand of fireballs.
Mm-hmm.
For everybody in the party.
Yep.
Even those folks that can't use, magic items or can't innately cast the spell.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody on their turn throws it at a dragon. We got 5 people in the party. Does it require concentration? It's instantaneous. So no concentration. It just happens. Boom. While they're holding the wand, they can take the magic action to produce the spell's effect, Fireball, using my ability modifier. Okay. They can do it again on the start of the next turn.
Mm-hmm.
The spell stays in the object till it's been used a number of times equal to twice my intelligence, so they can use it 4 times each. That's pretty cool. That's pretty powerful. So if you have 5 people all casting this, that's 5 times 8d6, or 8d6 times 5. Now, likewise, it could be any other, spell, but
240 points isn't too bad.
At level 11, every turn. Now, that's again assuming that the target fails at save. 120 would be what it takes if it does succeed.
If it keeps making it safe, yeah.
Right.
It's still taking damage.
Right.
Unless it's fire immunity.
Then it'll continue to take damage. So that's not bad at level 11. So let's jump over to TOV.
No. TV doesn't have anything until 13th and 14th level.
Okay, well, we'll check out 14 then. At level 14, you become an advanced artificer. You gain the following benefits. Magic Item Savant lets you attune up to now 5 magic items at once, and Refresh Genius. When you finish a short rest, you gain 1 expended use of your Flash of Genius feature. So, not much there.
Now, just quickly, I want to... Okay, one, I hate the fact that they're using a Artificer Infusion from 3rd edition as the name of this feat. While it is kind of doing that feat, it's... it doesn't go far enough in my opinion, but okay. Just wanted to be able to point that out. All right, let's jump over to TOV and see what we've got. Engineer's Insight. As long as you have at least 1 minute of uninterrupted focus on the task, when you make an ability check, treat any d20 roll of 9 or lower as though you rolled a 10. Normal activity like moving doesn't interrupt focus, but attacking, taking damage, or participating in anything that requires initiative order does interrupt focus. So, yeah.
Okay.
Ranged Augment. You can now use your Rapid Augment feature on items you can see within 60 feet of you, no longer needing to touch them. In addition, if an effect from your Augment feature would typically require you to touch the item to activate its properties, you no longer need to do so as long as the item is within 60 feet of you. You don't need to see the item to activate its properties in this way.
Golly.
So, let's say I gave someone an ability, or gave someone something that I can activate a Revivify on them if they're fallen in battle. As long as they're within 60 feet of me, I can just snap my fingers and they get hit by the Revivify. Now, I just want to mention this because we were just talking about spell storing item, and I feel like if I don't point this out, I would be doing... Okay, loading. You imbue an item with the ability to conjure magic ammunition. When you wield the weapon, an appropriate piece of ammunition magically appears in place as you attack. So basically, you've got magical reloading, right? Phosphorescent. You imbue an item with the ability to glow. While the item is on your person, you can use an action to cause the item to emit bright light in 20 feet radius, dim light out to another 20 feet. When you first activate the item, you can choose whether this light shines normally or whether it can only be seen by a number of creatures of your choice. The maximum equals your intelligence modifier. The light can be any color you choose. At higher levels, once you reach 9th level in the Mechanist class, the radius increases to bright light in a 30-foot radius and dim light to another 30 feet. You can choose for the bright light to be sunlight.
Great against vampires.
What was that first one we went to? Loading? And how many... So let's say, what was it? 13th, 14th level? So 7 augments known, 6 augmented items. So 3 people could have magically imbued auto-reloading crossbows with daylight shooting arrows out of them.
Yeah.
Machine gun. Like, at this point, you're basically recreating Underworld.
Yeah.
So there is a lot going on here as well. I just wanted to be able to point that out.
See, at level 18, you can now tune up to 6 magic items at once. We'll go ahead and jump and take a look at 19. You gain an epic boon feat or another feat of your choice, which you qualify. Boon of energy resistance is recommended.
Okay. Always prepared, 17th level Mechanist. When you take damage from an attack, you can use a reaction to take the use an object action. Okay.
Okay.
How could that be useful?
When you would take damage from attack, you can use a reaction to take the use and drink a potion of health.
Yep.
Potion of healing.
Yep.
I mean, or if I have, imbued a wand of with the healing spell.
Yeah.
I mean,
Boing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect creation, 18th level. Your growing insight into the nature of reality allows you greater control over your shard of creation. You receive the following features: Inspire. Your bonus to ability checks is now 1d10 instead of 1d8, and Transform. You can now transform the shard into any item, including structures and vehicles of huge size or smaller. You are no longer bound by any cost restrictions when choosing a form.
Okay. So I could create a Tron-like cycle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or an Eberron Sky Coach.
Right.
That's a huge item.
Right,
and it flies. Yeah.
So let's see. The D&D version, level 20, you get Soul of the Artifice. You have developed a mystical connection to your magic items, which you can draw on for aid. You gain the following benefits: cheat death. If you're reduced to 0 hit points but not killed outright, you can disintegrate any number of uncommon or rare magic items that you have created. If you do so, your hit points instead change to a number equal to 20 times the number of magic items disintegrated. Magical guidance. When you finish a short rest, you regain all expended use of your flash of genius if you have attuned to at least one magic item. Not super strong. I mean, yes, okay, if I, in a pinch, if I have created 9 different replicate magic items, like 9 different wand fireballs.
Yeah.
Yes, sure. I could destroy them and my hit points change to that times 20. Now, what I don't like about this is it doesn't specify if that caps out. So like if my maximum hit points is 90, for example.
Oh yeah, does everything else become temporary hit points?
Right. Does everything else become temporary hit points? Which I would assume it does. I mean, as a DM, that's how I would rule it. But I have a couple of players that would argue that to death, saying, no. And they would sit there and go, okay, so I want you to hit me. And when I hit to 0, I'm going to disintegrate 4 magic items. And that's going to put me up to, 80 hit points. Of course, keep in mind, this is at level 20. So you're going to have some high hit points at that point anyway. But yeah, a little clarification there would have been helpful.
Yep.
I don't know, for a level 20 ability, that doesn't seem extraordinarily oomphy to me.
It doesn't, does it?
So let's take a look at the TOV 20.
Oh, this is going to be very painful. Epic Boon. Your commitment to the Mechanist path grants you the following new ability: Creative Engine. You gain a +1 bonus to your saves for each effect from your augment feature currently active on items within 60 feet of you.
Oh, wow.
If you fail a save while any of those items are within 60 feet of you, you can automatically end one of those effects, your choice, to succeed on the save instead.
Yeah, that's pretty. I mean, that's not very oomphy, but it's life saving. And that's one thing. You're okay. So you're gaining that. You're gaining Creative Engine as the epic boon. That is the epic boon there.
Yes.
Whereas at level 19, I get an epic boon, which we'd have to look at the DMG for that. Hold on one second. I'll pull that up. But regardless, I think at the end of it, I I think, or the player's handbook rather, I think that all right, let's see. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm going to share my Epic Boon Feat screen with you real quick. Cool. So these are the Epic Boon Feats that you could gain at level 19. Combat Prowess, which lets me increase an ability score of my choice by 1 up to a maximum of 30. When I miss with an attack roll, I can instead hit. Okay. Boon of Dimensional Travel. I could increase one. All of these are going to be increase a score by 1 up to a maximum of 30. Immediately after you take the attack action or a magic action, you can teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see. Boon of Energy Resistance. You gain resistance to acid, cold, fire, lightning, necrotic poison, psychic radiant, or thunder. 2 of those. And then when you finish a long rest, you can change that choice. Or energy redirection. I like this one. When you take damage of one of the types chosen from this benefit, you can take a reaction to direct the damage of the same type towards another creature you can see within 60 feet that isn't behind total cover. So if the dragon is spitting acid at me, I can redirect it back at that dragon. And then you've got, there's several more. Boon of Fate, Boon of Fortitude. Again, keep in mind this is all at level 20. So a lot of these are there's some of them that are good, some of them that are really good. But, like Boon of Skill, you gain proficiencies in all skills. Well, that's pretty sick. And then you can choose one of them to gain expertise in. I don't know. I think compared side by side, hands down, I think the TOV version is a bit more powerful. And I think the deciding factor for me is the fact that with the D&D version, a lot of the Artificer's abilities are limited to the items that they themselves have created. Whereas the TOV version, it kind of leans a bit more closer to the 3rd edition version of the Artificer, in that it can do its survivability is not necessarily based on just the specific stuff it has created, but it can also kind of consume or enhance other people's magic items.
Yeah. And even though they both have that ability to end effects to save themselves,
right,
the Mechanist doesn't destroy the item. It just takes off the enchantment it put on it.
Right. I don't know. I think for me, as a player, I would be tempted to get my DM to let me do kind of more of a combination of both. I see strengths and weaknesses in both classes, or both versions of it, rather.
I'll accept that because,
more is always better.
But again, we kind of touched on the spell list of what the Artificer had. We kind of saw a few of the augments that the Mechanist has, but there's I think the Mechanist subclasses, even though there's only 2 in the player's guide, I think they summarize better for the class, whereas there's more you can do with it. It's not just one thing.
Right.
The Metallurgist, you can give that power to yourself, to the tank.
Right. Right.
Whereas with the Armorer, more self-focused. The Artillerist is more.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of where the subclasses, for the artificers come in, because the subclasses open up to, whereas the base class is all what I can do for myself, and it's got a couple of things that what I can do for the party peppered in there, but the subclasses are less about what I can do for myself and more what I can do for the party. And again, I specifically wanted to avoid, going over that because we're already an hour 30 into it. And if we went into the subclasses, we'd be here for another 2 or 3 hours. But
pretty much. That said, though, like, legit, I do like the concept of the cartographer. I think it has a really cool idea behind it. I've got no idea what the upcoming subclasses for the Mechanist are going to be in TOV's Player's Guide 2. That should be coming out sometime in the next 4-6 weeks or so. But hoping that's going to be cool. But yeah.
Well, we had... I agree. I think that the cartographer needs a bit more fleshing out. I mean, it is what it is at this point, but hey, that's the nice thing about tabletop gaming is you can modify it, tweak it, and homebrew it to whatever you want it to be. So, if you feel that it needs to be updated, run with it.
And that's a good thing and a bad thing, because we know that we come from generations that did that. I don't really like this. I would like to change this. Let's make a note of it. That's what the house rules for this is now.
Right.
But you see so many people, you see so many, the Reddit horror story stuff and whatnot, where it's just like...
Right. So
everything has to be as the book.
Speaking of horror stories, I was kind of surprised that we didn't see the Reanimator subclass. So it was earlier this year in an Unearthed Arcana that they released horror subclasses. And you got subclasses for the Artificer, which was the Reanimator. Basically, they could bring back the dead. They were not bring back the dead, but they were like the Dr. Frankenstein and bringing back, or raising Frankenstein's monster. That's basically them. And then you had, for bards, you had the College of the Spirits, which was all about, ghosts and having spirits guide you. You had the Grave Domain for clerics, which was kind of all about like raising dead and vampiric touch, that kind of thing. And then you had Rangers as a Hollow Warden. I mean, you just had several different horror-based subclasses. But I was curious to find out. I'm wondering if they're going to release those next year for October. But
see, my thing has always been that since that came out, like, it sounds a little bit Grim Hollow, which, if I'm not mistaken, isn't Grim Hollow on D&D Beyond?
It is. Let me take a look at that. I don't know that they had those. I don't know that they would put... There is Grim Hollow Player's Guide and a campaign guide. Subclass, yeah, of course, it doesn't list to me what the actual subclasses are. And they don't have the Artificer listed in here anyway. So.
I do need to specify this, and I know I'm going to be going against my better judgment of, only bashing on WotC. But fucking hell, they actually did a kind of a good job with, at the very least, the artwork that I've seen so far of the Forge of the Artificer. I realized that there's still going to be some people. Oh, I think that's meant to be a woman. I'm not quite sure, quite honestly. The way artists do shit nowadays, I got a fucking clue, but I do like the Artificer on the front of the and in the artwork for this new book, because even though they've changed a bunch of shit and whatever, just fuck off, I don't give a flying fuck. But in original lore, it's really good that they have a human Artificer who could easily be a member of House Cannith, making, using what could very well be using the mark of making to, imbue that head with the life essence for the Warforged.
Right.
It looks far more Eberron than anything first 5th edition did, and
so
I want to praise that.
I like to look at the credits. I know Keith Baker is the guy that kind of created this. He created Eberron. The lead designer is James Wyatt. I'm not sure what else they've done. Jeremy Crawford had a bit to do with the designing as well. Mackenzie DeArmas is a rule maker. Jeremy Crawford was a rules developer. I'm trying to find some of the other names that really kind of stand out. I don't recognize many of the other names, but let's see. Well, James Wyatt and Keith Baker, they did the Player's Guide to Eberron Campaign Guide.
Yeah, so James White did do a lot of work on the 3rd edition, the original Eberron stuff. So
yeah, but okay. So that's listed under the products that provide information and inspiration. Lead designer was James Wyatt. So they at least had James Wyatt, the guy that kind of came that helped design some of the stuff in 3rd edition, help to do stuff for 5th edition.
But James Wyatt, since Crawford and Perkins left, James Wyatt has been back a lot more in the spotlight at WotC stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of internal political maneuvering.
Yeah, I don't know either.
That could be about or what, but I have noticed that. Like, he started reappearing back on Big B's Presents Giants, that book, whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah.
And he's slowly been reappearing on a lot of the credits from the book since then. But yeah, he had been there a while. It's nice to see him back. I'm not sure where I am on that though. So
yeah, well, it I don't know. It strikes me as with these new books, it kind of almost strikes me as WotC is starting to pay attention more to the game and less to an agenda.
I would like to hope that.
I mean, I like the game. I have nothing wrong. I have nothing against it. But likewise, I mean, I also like Tales of the Valiant. I think that they're producing some really kick-ass stuff. And, let's face it. I mean, had WotC not gone down, if they had two paths in front, if there was a road in front of them and it branched, they went down this weird road for a while. And without them going down that weird road, we wouldn't have Tales of the Valiant, you know? And so, I mean, if anything, I've got to look at it as maybe it wasn't necessarily a bad thing that they went the direction that they tried to go, because it did open the door for other creators to put their foot in it and go, hey, let's see what we can do. And obviously, you know, the players wanted that, you know, because they've made it a success. They've made Tales of the Valiant a success.
Yeah, I can see that. It also helped that, you know, the person in charge at Kobold Press is Wolfgang Bauer, who was a game developer and a game designer at WotC during 3rd edition, did some stuff at TSR for 2nd edition.
Yeah.
So, like, he understands a game design point of view.
Right.
Not to harp on particularly, but, you know, WotC had a book editor in charge of game design.
Right.
And a story designer in as backup.
Having the wrong people in place, you know, it makes about as much sense as having a department manager go out and clear baskets at a, you know, big box retail store. I mean, sometimes you have to do that. I get that. You know, I mean, sometimes that's necessary, you know, and that's at that specific moment in time, that may show good customer service. But at the end of the day, you really need that individual in there managing the employees, not, or managing that specific department, not clearing baskets. Likewise, I mean, you know, at WotC, you need to have the key people in key positions, but it all falls down to that almighty dollar, not what you or I like, unfortunately. And as you said, you know, it's all, you know, kind of the politics of the business.
Yes.
But that all said, I think that's a pretty good comparison side by side. It's a video that I've been wanting to take a look at and do for quite a while. Yes. Just kind of comparing the two different versions of it.
Mm-hmm. And next week we will be joined by our usual third band member, Gur, who will be here to revisit this topic, because we're kind of doing a part 2-ish in a way, because he had lots of things he wanted to talk about for this. However, he is indisposed at one of those Disney parks.
He couldn't find his pants.
Yeah, probably. And you've already called dibs on demonetizing my channel and getting it removed. So, you know, can I have one pantsless person?
I'm wearing pants today. It's cold, so I've got pants on.
Next week I won't be, because next week summer is kicking in here in Australia. So you'll be lucky if I'm wearing clothes at all.
So let's see. We've got a night coming in. Hold on. We've got a night coming in where it's going to be -9 degrees. That's Celsius for you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's cold as balls.
Yeah. No, I don't like it.
I don't either. And I don't know what we're going to do. I just frozen pipes. That's the part that scares the hell out of me.
Yeah, you've mentioned that in the past, and that just doesn't sound like fun.
Well, it was about a year ago. Yeah, about a year ago that I had to get under the house and fix some frozen pipes. I hate it. Oh my God, I hate it.
Yeah.
Not ready to move to Australia.
You'd have to vote. And I do mean that. Have to vote.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the environment would get me, though.
How so?
Well, everything. I would want to go touch everything, and it would just kill me instantly.
Nah,
Oh, look, there's a neat looking snake.
okay. But as soon as you learn the difference between, your standard carpet snakes and brown snakes, and like then the pythons and taipans, you'll be fine. You'll know which ones.
Spiders.
For the most part, the bigger they are, the less dangerous they are.
The bigger they are, the less dangerous they are.
Kind of.
Yeah. Let's see. Air doesn't the air try to kill you there?
No.
Oh,
We've actually got really clean air.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Unless it's a bushfire, in which case you can't breathe.
Yeah, I get that.
2019 was fun. We were wearing masks before the pandemic.
Hey, we used to live in Florida, and there were brush fires all over the place down there. And that was the year our daughter was born, and we were so terrified of not necessarily the house burning down, but just the air quality and it getting into her lungs and messing her lungs up, that we took duct tape and taped up all of the windows to keep outside air from coming in. And I mean, that seemed to work, but of course, when we went to take the duct tape down, it left so much residue, sticky residue all over the place. And at the point, we were renting an apartment. Oof. And so yeah, we got dinged for the repairs on that when we moved out.
That sucks.
What do you do?
Unfortunately, not much you can do.
No. I mean, we were never in danger of the fire getting to us, but the smoke was, you couldn't stand out. You couldn't go outside without wearing a mask. Like you said, you had to wear a mask at that point. Hell, that was 20 something years ago. But anyway.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, here in like the central states, wasn't nearly as bad with the fire smoke as it was in Sydney, where you probably remember pictures, like Sydney was like a hazed orange because of the smoke just pouring.
Yeah, that's how it was. Yeah.
Just anyway, so
Artificers. Artificers. It's a cool class. You guys should check it out.
Yeah. Also, check out the Mechanist from Tales of the Valiant. I don't know why I'm pointing to my other screen. You can't see my other screen, so.
I mean, I could point to mine too, but it looks like I'm actually pointing to you. So go to this guy as the expert for mechanists. He's got a couple of videos posted that make sense.
Or if you want to know how to build a inventor type in something like, say, the Cypher system, or if you're going to play Numenera, I'm pretty sure I've got a run. Did I do that rundown of the right? Oh no. Well, there's a video I can do if I didn't. Fuck. Oh shit. Anyway, and at some point I might even get around to like explaining how to make an inventor in Call of Cthulhu. So
hey, that would be fun.
Yeah, just an absolute denial of that. It can't be real because it doesn't apply to science. No. Which we all know the power of no.
No.
Yeah.
Especially if it's imbued in a wand. No.
Or a staff, just a big wacky staff of no.
Well.
Yeah. So, have fun. And we'll be back next week with, more of this again, but with a third person and potentially more boring because Go's nowhere near as fun as his lovely peanut gallery. Anyway, bye-bye. Any last words?
Pinochle.
And
wallpaper.
I would say penis.
Oh.
Are we streaming on your channel too?
No.
Ah, okay. Well, cunt then as well. I
I mean, those two do go together.
They do.